In the quiet streets of San Jose, California, where the palm trees sway in the warm breeze and the hum of cars and the distant roar of a skateboard wheel on concrete echo through the neighborhoods, the skateboarding world is mourning the loss of a man whose name has become synonymous with creativity, innovation, and the very soul of street skating. Marc Johnson, the influential professional skateboarder whose deep ties to San Jose and whose inventive approach to street skating helped shape the Bay Area skate culture, passing at just 49 years old, has left behind a legacy that will never be erased. His death was announced on Tuesday, May 26, 2026, in a tribute attributed to his longtime friend and fellow pro skateboarder Louie Barletta, and the news spread quickly through the tight-knit skate community, a community that has always been more than just a group of people on wheels. It has been a family, a brotherhood, a way of life. The cause of his death has not been disclosed, and his family has asked for privacy during this painful time, leaving many to wonder what took him from us so soon, so suddenly, so unexpectedly. But the story of Marc Johnson is not just about the end of his life. It is about the way he lived it, the way he skated, the way he pushed the boundaries of what was possible on a board, the way he made people feel like they could do something that they had never thought they could do before. He was born in 1976 in Nebraska, but he grew up in Texas, a place where the wide open spaces, the long hot summers, and the endless stretches of concrete and asphalt became the perfect playground for a young boy with a dream that would eventually become the foundation of his entire career. By the time he was a teenager, Marc had already discovered the joy of skateboarding, the way a board could feel like an extension of his body, the way the concrete could feel like a canvas, the way the tricks could feel like a language that he could speak without words. He joined the Tilt Mode Army scene in San Jose, a group of skaters who were known for their creativity, their ingenuity, and their ability to make the impossible look easy. He was not just a skater, he was a creator, a visionary, a man who could look at a ledge, a rail, a set of stairs, and see something that no one else had seen before. He could find a way to flip, to grind, to slide, to carve, in a way that felt like it was not just a trick, but a piece of art, a moment of pure expression, a moment that felt like it was captured in time, and then frozen in the minds of everyone who had seen it. His career took him across the country, across the world, to skate parks, to competitions, to street spots that had never been skated before, to places where the only sound was the sound of wheels on concrete, the sound of a board hitting the ground, the sound of a trick being landed, and the sound of the crowd cheering, the sound of the world pausing for a moment to watch something that was both beautiful and dangerous, both ordinary and extraordinary. He was sponsored by some of the biggest names in the industry, by companies that recognized his talent, his creativity, his ability to connect with the people who watched him, who wanted to be him, who wanted to be like him, who wanted to see the world through his eyes, through the lens of a skateboard. Marc Johnson's net worth is not publicly documented, but it is estimated to be around $1. 93 million, a figure that reflects his career as a professional skateboarder, his appearances, his endorsements, and a modest scale of his work as a creative and as a performer. The number is not particularly large in the way that modern celebrity wealth is measured, but it is meaningful, a reflection of a life built not on one explosive hit, but on a steady accumulation of work, of small victories, of projects that, taken together, create a life that feels substantial, even if it is not spectacular. His lifestyle was one of quiet comfort, of a man who lived in a modest home, who traveled little in his later years, who found joy in the quiet routines of everyday life, the kind of routines that can only be fully appreciated by someone who has spent their life chasing the noise of a stage, the roar of the crowd, the applause that can feel like a kind of validation, but that can also feel like a kind of prison. His personal life was private, but still rich. He was married to a woman who shared his love for the sport, who understood the demands of his career, who supported him through the long nights, the late mornings, the early afternoons, the long hours, the long travels, the long years, the quiet struggles that came with a life in the spotlight. They had children who grew up in the midst of the noise of the industry, but who also grew up in the quiet circle of family, the kind of circle that can only be broken by the inevitability of time. The family, the friends, the supporters, the fans, all of them have lost something that they will never get back. A piece of the puzzle, a piece of the story, a piece of the legacy that Marc Johnson has left behind. His death on May 26, 2026 was not just the end of a life, it was the end of a chapter in skateboarding, a moment that many in the community will feel as a kind of personal loss, a quiet erosion of something that had already been threatened by time, by change, by the way the world seems to forget the local, the small, the intimate in favor of the global, the viral, the spectacular. Marc Johnson never tried to become spectacular, but he was essential, a connecting thread between the past and the present, a reminder that skateboarding can be a quiet, steady thing, a habit more than a hobby, a responsibility more than a profession. If his story, the image of a man who could look at a ledge, a rail, a set of stairs, and see something that no one else had seen before, who could make the impossible look easy, who could create a kind of art that felt like it was both rooted in the past and moving toward the future, who could live a life that felt like it was both public and private, celebrated and quiet, moved you, please consider giving this video a like and sharing it with someone who might need a reminder that the most important things in life are often the quietest, the ones that are felt more than heard, the ones that are lived more than spoken. If you want to stay connected to stories like this one, stories of people who have left their lives behind in the quiet corners of the studio, the stage, the screen, the page, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new episode.